Once again, Nirvana.
Officials say
After all, you can't let people get away with murder.
Nope.
Especially the murder of
But
somebody.
why would anyone want to kill Kurt?
I know, he was like cool.
Okay, but what's the easiest answer that comes to mind? Why do people usually get killed?
Because people are jealous.
Yeah.
They're jealous of him. That could be it.
And then what goes along with jealousy? What are they jealous of?
His fame.
Yeah.
He was famous.
And so when he died, who got all the fame?
It's not Courtney.
She didn't do it.
Don't even think that. Not Courtney. We have proof or something.
Okay, well, never mind the fame. Who got the money?
Courtney got the money, but
She didn't do it.
she would never kill Kurt.
Even though
That'd
she
be
got
like
his fame.
so dumb. And she loved him very much.
But think of what you just said. If someone killed him, it had to be jealousy over his fame.
But she was famous too, so why should she be jealous?
If she wasn't as famous as he was.
Yeah, but
Yeah, she was.
Courtney didn't care really if she was that much, that much famous.
Well, since he's died, she's been working non-stop in order to try to get more
That's just 'cause she has to make a living
famous.
and help her baby and stuff.
Well, given that she's probably inherited at least $50 million, I don't think she
But it
really
was,
needs
like,
to
her
be
money,
working
too.
so much.
Yeah, it wasn't only his, it was her money too.
Well.
They made it together
Something.
somehow.
To explain that in brief, Nirvana at the time of Kurt's death sold about 15 million records. At the time of his death, you know how many records Courtney had sold? Less than 100,000. So Nirvana had sold at least 100 times more records than Hole ever has.
I don't think, no. Courtney didn't kill him. No,
Yeah, no.
That's like impossible or something.
Well, you know what the last words in Smells Like Teen Spirit are, don't you? I deny ya, I deny ya, I deny ya, I deny ya.
Yeah, so that means he killed himself.
He'd always been talking about how he hated his life. He wanted to die like a million other times. He's locked himself in the bathroom with a gun, and Courtney's tried to stop him. She's called the police to help
and
him
so why
for
would she
so
just
many
shoot
times.
him?
Why would all of a sudden she just decide, I don't like you, bang.
Well, let me tell you about that. That occurred on March 18th here, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Courtney called the Seattle Police Department. She said, my husband's in the bathroom and he's going to kill himself with a gun. And then the police showed up at the door, and Kurt said, no, that never happened. I was merely locking myself in a room to get away from my wife, who was, whatever, annoying me or whatever. And then the police said, Ms. Love Cobain, did he really have a gun? And she said, well, no, I didn't actually see a gun. There wasn't really a gun. No, there wasn't a gun, and no, he didn't threaten to kill himself.
But if
In other words, she recanted the entire story.
Yeah, but if
on the
she
spot.
called the police, she must have been worried about him because he's always, all his songs are like depressing and stuff.
Yes, but you see, he killed him. He allegedly killed himself, according to the official version of events 2 weeks later. And it readily explains the whole thing to people if you say, oh, well, but you understand. I mean, when I asked for an explanation from you as to why you think he would kill himself, the first thing you said was, well, there was this incident, and he had threatened to kill himself in the incident, when, in fact, he denied that that occurred. And then when the police said, dear wife, are you denying that this occurred? She said, yes, okay, I'm denying, I made it up.
Yeah, but listen, okay. Kurt, he was always like, he never liked being famous. He even said so himself. He didn't want the fame and stuff. And he wrote a suicide note. I mean,
Yeah, he
and it
wrote
was
a
in his
suicide note.
handwriting, so I mean, how could she all of a sudden?
How do you know it was his handwriting?
Because I've seen other things of his hand. I've seen his signatures and
Stuff.
his song lyrics on paper, his original versions of
They're
his lyrics.
exactly the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same. In fact, they're completely distinctly different.
They're not.
For instance, Kurt would always make these capital A's, you know, like an A-frame A, like the top of that building there, an A-frame A. He used the capital A throughout his handwriting. That is, if he wrote the word, you know,
But he was also high on heroin when he did this, so.
how do you know that?
Because the doctors said.
Yeah, we were like news.
Well, I spoke to the doctor that people assume released that information. His name is Dr. Donald T. Ray, and you know what he said? He said that information didn't come from our office. In fact, I think that information came from Courtney Love, didn't it? And I said, Dr. Ray, you mean that the information in the paper didn't come from you? It came from Courtney Love? She called the newspaper and said he was high on
But
heroin and he killed himself?
But Courtney was off doing
Wait,
a
wait,
photo shoot or something when he did this.
She
So
was
how?
in Los Angeles in
Yeah,
jail.
Yeah, so how could she kill him?
She was in jail.
But she was in jail. How could she kill him on the day if she was in jail?
She didn't do the deed. She had others do it for her, if that's what happened.
No. Courtney
that the-
Love did not kill him.
Haven't you
Wait,
ever
wait,
seen
wait.
a
Do
single
you like
episode of
Courtney Love?
Columbo?
Why is everyone so mean to Courtney?
But don't you understand that's what they do in Columbo? You get the perfect alibi to commit the perfect murder.
So like,
But don't you see, Lieutenant, I was out of town at the time.
But listen,
I couldn't
listen,
have
listen.
possibly done it. In fact, I was in jail. There's a record of that.
but listen, dude. Listen, like, so immediately if someone decided they wanted to kill themselves, they'd immediately put their wife or their girlfriend or whatever, or husband inside jail, even if they didn't do it. That's like not right.
She put herself in jail.
How'd
She acted wildly and irrationally in a posh hotel, and they called hotel security, and hotel security said, she's inside a blood-spattered hotel room. I don't know where the blood came from, but, and they came in, and there were syringes and prescription pads and something that looked exactly like heroin, which turned out not to be heroin. So it appears that she set herself up for the bust, so that she would be in jail at the time that the body was
Courtney did
discovered.
not kill Kurt.